Hey, topping your license math and history, and it's July 4th, which means we are gonna do a lesson on dilating shapes. In the last video, we were working on translating geometric shapes, but on that video, we were doing a lot about moving the shape from one place to another. Since it's July 4th, we'll be doing dilating shapes because when you dilate a shape, what we're going to be doing is making the shape grow bigger or shrink into a smaller shape, or we get to scale the shape. It means the question is, how did they get this train from a giant life-size train to a small-size train? How did they get the real thing and shrink it into a model? That is an example of a dilation, to change the size of a shape. There are two types of a dilation. The first type is to make a shape bigger, or that is called an enlargement. Here's an example of an enlargement, and this also applies to the 4th of July. Those fireworks can be a great example of an enlargement because the shape is getting bigger. The other type of a dilation is something that is getting smaller, or a reduction. Here's an example where there's a reduction happening, making the shape smaller or shrink. That can be a great example where a shape is shrinking in size. The scale is getting smaller. When we scale shapes, we usually tend to use a graph because that will help us understand what is happening to the shape, and that will also help us understand what the shape will look like after a dilation. Let's do an example problem. If a firework is dilated by a scale factor of 2, how large is the explosion? So, there are two things that we can find in this word problem. One is a firework, and fireworks explode. And number 2, a scale factor of 2. That means that the shape that we're trying to do is actually going to enlarge. So it's going to get bigger as it goes kaboom. The reason why we can understand that it's an enlargement, because the shape is a normal size, which is as 1. If you want to shrink a shape, then it's going to be below 1, around 0.99 or lower. That is going to be in a scale factor of 0.99 or lower. That means the shape is going to shrink, or a reduction. If you want to make a shape go bigger, then we're going to have a scale factor that's going to be way larger than 1, like 1.1 and above. That means the shape is going to get bigger, or an enlargement. So what we're going to do is we're going to dilate the shape by a scale factor of 2, so it's going to grow. This is going to represent the firework we saw in the video. So, the first step is to find each of the edges points on the graph. Then we'll be able to understand what to do next. So, for point A, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have for point A is 4/7. That's where it is on the graph. Point A is 4/7. Point B is gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're gonna have 6, 4. 6/4. That is gonna be point B on the graph. And for finally is point C. That is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 3/4. These are the current graphs or the current spots of each angle or each dot on this graph. So we have the graphs and we have the places where they're at. The next thing that's going to happen is the firework is going to explode, and that's going to make the shape bigger. After the firework exploded and we graphed everything, now it's time to multiply everything by 2. The reason why we multiply is because scale factor of 2. We're making the firework grow bigger. And factor is one of the words for multiplying. And a scale factor means that is 2 times bigger than the original size. So, what we're going to have to do is multiply all these numbers by 2. 4 times 2, that is going to be 8. 2 times 7 is going to be 14. So point A is now 8/14. Point B, 6 times 2 is 12. 4 times 2 is 8. So point B is now 12/8. And last but not least, point C. 3 multiplied by 2 is 6. And 4 multiplied by 2 is going to be 8. So point C is now 6/8. Now we can really see the explosion by actually graphing them on the graph. Point A, 8/14, is that blue dot right there. Point B, 12/8, that is that black dot right here. And last but not least, point C, which is 6/8, or 6/8. So that is that green dot right there. So now we have to make the triangle. And when we do that, we now understand that this triangle we just made is bigger than this smaller triangle. It means that this triangle is 2 times bigger than the original triangle that we were supposed to dilate. Kaboom and yeah! We have successfully dilated the shape 2 times bigger to make that shape. When we are scale factoring, the reason why we graph is after that we multiply by a scale factor to get new plots on the graph. When we do that, we graph on the graph and find what the new shape is. All thanks to the scale factor of 2. 2 times the charms. Happy 4th of July! Thank you for watching Taoping Life's Math Industry. Like and subscribe. And for the week of 4th of July 2021, I'll be taking a break and there will be videos the week after. And to end the video, let's see this car facility self-destruct.